Evil has often earned the red carpet's highest honors. And today we count down 10 villains whose performances didn't just scare us. They won Oscars. From charismatic masterminds to ruthless tyrants, these characters turned the spotlight on the dark side and convinced the Academy to applaud it. Whether you're drawn to subtle menace or full-blown malevolence, these are the performances that defined bad guy excellence. Let's step into the shadows of the best Oscar-winning villains. Anton Chigurh, No Country for Old Men. A haunting presence that defies logic or mercy, Anton Chigurh stalks the screen like a symbol of fate itself.
Call it, yes.
His calm voice and mechanical precision make his violence almost ritualistic, terrifying not for what he says, but for what he doesn't. Each encounter is a test, each coin toss a sermon about life and chance. Javier Bardem's cold stillness turns randomness into inevitability, transforming an assassin into an elemental force. No Country for Old Men doesn't glorify his evil, it studies it, showing how order and chaos can wear the same face. Javier Bardem, 10th place. Little Bill Daggett, Unforgiven. A lawman who believes brutality is just another tool, Little Bill rules his town with charm on the surface and violence underneath.
But you won't find him in a town of big whiskey.
Gene Hackman delivers a performance that blends warmth, intimidation, and unpredictability, making his authority feel both familiar and frightening. What makes him terrifying isn't cruelty alone, but the conviction that he's always right. His calm lectures, sudden rage, and absolute control over life and death turn him into a villain shaped by the harshness of the frontier. Unforgiven exposes how justice can be twisted when the wrong man holds the badge. Gene Hackman, 9th place. Nurse Ratched, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. With an icy calm that freezes every room she enters, Nurse Ratched represents control, taken to its most oppressive form.
No! No! No!
She never raises her voice, yet her power dominates through silence, authority, and manipulation. Louise Fletcher's subtle performance turns small gestures into weapons, showing how order can become a form of cruelty. The role captures a system that crushes individuality under the guise of care. Her presence lingers like a nightmare, calm, clean, and absolutely unbreakable. Louise Fletcher, 8th place. Joker, The Dark Knight. A chaotic whirlwind of ideology and madness, this Joker isn't simply evil. He's a reaction to the world around him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Heath Ledger transforms the role into an unforgettable study of anarchy, where laughter masks rage and brilliance hides behind scars. His unpredictability drives every scene, turning Gotham's order into spectacle. The Joker doesn't seek money or revenge. He wants to prove that everyone's moral code collapses under pressure. Ledger's performance changed comic book villains forever, redefining chaos as something deeply human. Heath Ledger, 7th place. Arthur Fleck, Joker, 2019. If Ledger's Joker was chaos unleashed, Joaquin Phoenix's version is the tragedy before it.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
His performance traces a man's slow unraveling, from invisibility to infamy, showing how neglect and cruelty shape monsters. The film reframes villainy as a reflection of society's failures, not just personal madness. Every expression, every fragile smile feels like a plea for understanding that turns into rebellion. Phoenix's portrayal doesn't justify the horror, it explains the heartbreak behind it. Together with Ledger, he defines two sides of the same distorted mirror. Joaquin Phoenix, 6th place. Annie Wilkes, Misery, A fan's devotion becomes captivity in this chilling portrait of obsession. Annie Wilkes begins as a savior and transforms into a warden, her kindness tightening into control.
Now don't be afraid. I love you.
Kathy Bates delivers a performance of unsettling depth, part caretaker, part tormentor, making every moment of calm feel like the edge of danger. What makes her terrifying isn't brute force, but her unpredictability and emotional swings. Misery reminds us that the line between love and madness can vanish with a single obsession. Bates makes sure we feel every second of it. Kathy Bates, 5th place. Hans Landa, inglorious bastards, polite, intelligent, and disturbingly charming, Hans Landa is a study in contradiction.
If a rat were to scamper through your front door right now, would you greet it with hostility?
Christoph Waltz crafts a villain who kills with conversation before he ever draws a gun. His language is elegant, his logic flawless, and his cruelty surgical. Every scene becomes a dance of dominance, where Landa's smile is sharper than any weapon. What makes him terrifying is not his power, but his joy in using it. Tarantino's script gives him words. Waltz gives him menace. The result? Pure cinematic tension. Christoph Waltz, 4th place. Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs. Few villains combine intellect and horror as elegantly as Hannibal Lecter. Anthony Hopkins turns him into a creature of control. Soft-spoken, polite, and entirely aware of his power. His words cut deeper than violence. His gaze dissects before he acts. What makes him so fascinating is how much of himself he hides behind manners. The film's tension lives in that contradiction. A cultured predator whose civility is more unnerving than any brutality. Hopkins doesn't play a monster. He plays a man who enjoys being one. Anthony Hopkins, 3rd place. Daniel Plainview, There Will Be Blood. Greed takes human form in Daniel Plainview, a man who digs for oil but unearths his own damnation.
So I can get the lumber for the derrick, such things go by friendship in a rush like this.
Daniel Day-Lewis turns ambition into madness, channeling fury that grows with every success. His performance is raw, volcanic, and deeply psychological, revealing how power corrodes everything it touches. Every victory isolates him further. Every gain feels like loss. By the end, the man who wanted the world stands alone, drowning in his own triumph. It's capitalism as character study. Ruthless, brilliant, and unforgettable. Daniel Day-Lewis, 2nd place. Roger Verbal Kint, The Usual Suspects. Soft-spoken, unassuming, and seemingly harmless. Verbal Kint is the last person anyone expects to fear. And that's precisely what makes him dangerous.
Some say his father was German.
Kevin Spacey crafts a performance built on misdirection, shaping a character who hides entire worlds of deception behind a limp, a whisper, and a nervous smile. Every story he tells feels fragile yet believable, each detail placed with surgical precision. As the truth slowly cracks open, the audience realizes they've been manipulated as expertly as the characters on screen. The Usual Suspects doesn't just reveal a villain, it exposes the power of a perfect lie. Kevin Spacey, 1st place. And that wraps up our countdown of the most unforgettable, Oscar-winning villains in cinema history. From cunning masterminds to chaotic anarchists, these performances have left audiences stunned, terrified, and sometimes uncomfortably fascinated. Which villain shocked you the most, or stayed with you long after the credits? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit like if you enjoyed the list, and subscribe for more deep dives into legendary performances and iconic cinematic moments.